This conference will now be recorded.
Was $7,512.43. We paid WRA $6,201.69 for part of the Presby bypass. And we had interest earned for the month of $1,374.32. The water fund restricted account had an ending balance of $1,713,396.24. We did transfer in from Richmond Homes, tap fee paid of $42,200, and we earned interest for the month of $4,333.28. The American Rescue Plan restricted account has an ending balance of $597,350.85. We paid Arrow Consulting $8,454.12 for services at the reservoir, and we earned interest of $1,588.67. Moving on to the sewer account. The sewer fund had an ending balance of $320,437.63. We paid to Control Systems 21 for the semi-annual calibrations, $1,028.75. We had interest earned of $276.11. The sewer fund restricted account had an ending balance of $427,544.40, and we earned interest for the month of $1,098.75. And the breakdown on some of the other particulars are there on the treasury report if you had any questions. That's everything, guys.
All right, anybody have any questions? All right, so the motion to approve. I make a motion.
Second.
All right, got a motion, second, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Nope, motion carried. All right, doesn't look like we have any public comment. What's Eric wants to say something? We'll wait on that.
Who did? Oh.
I'm sorry, I was talking to Rachel.
No, that's nothing.
No, he's
I'm
kidding.
so
He
good.
gave himself for it.
We're just passing over public
That's
comments.
okay.
Yeah.
Who motioned for the treasurer?
Dave motioned and
Nelson.
Nelson
Okay,
second.
thank you, sorry. That's okay.
All right, you guys are up.
All right, so we have completed our pilot of our metering system in Boonesboro, and we want to talk about moving forward with the full system rollout for you guys.
There should be quotes in your packet.
Yeah.
We supplied a quote for the full system and 2 quotes to extend the pilot in AMR, which is drive-by, or AMI is, using the collector, sending the data remotely.
How does the collector work where it's located at?
I haven't had any issues.
All the meters are right there.
Yeah,
St. Paul, Ford, Lake, Orchard.
Oh,
We just kind of concentrated on the Guilford thing.
so would that be a permanent site for that, or?
I think, Greg, you were mainly leaning away from that site because I think that building is getting
It's
demolished.
eventually gonna be demolished, yes.
So,
Or gotten rid of, or
yeah. So,
He'd like to have
it needs to be.
so I'm in the process of getting the prop study updated. We talked about the reservoir, and the wastewater treatment plant the last time I was out here, Greg, and unfortunately, the prop study didn't come back looking great with those 2 sites. Camstrup is still telling me the best location based on their GIS system is the ambulance squad and still the library. So I actually drove back by there today. I know you have hesitations about the library because it's county owned. But I saw that the Boonesboro Police Department building right next to the library.
Correct.
Is that, a comfortable option for you?
So
So there's no immediate plans to move them, but I think that we do want to eventually move the police department. It'll be several years after the public works building is moved.
I think you could do the county, you just have to jump these hoops.
If the police department would be almost or as good as the library, I'd rather.
The library or the
No, the police
Police
department.
department.
I mean, and if you guys have concerns about that building moving at some point, the other option would be to put, there's a bathroom there at the park, which appeared to be, that's a Boonesboro park, correct, and not a county park?
Correct.
And there's power at that bathroom, and we could just put up a pole and put the collector on that. The power's already there.
Will that elevate, you're talking there by the pond,
Um,
behind the library? Or are
Yeah,
you talking about the one in the parking lot?
I'm talking about the bathroom in the parking lot.
Okay, there's another bathroom located down further behind the library. There's a pond and there's another bathroom that's part of the park that has power as well. So I don't know if the elevation,
I would have to have Cam Struck look at both of those sites to see which one would be better.
Chris, the library only owns a little piece of that ground, that we own everything around it. That up tall, like you could actually get right beside the library and still be on Boonesboro property.
Okay.
They only own a little chunk there.
But regardless, we're talking about a standalone antenna,
Yes.
regardless of how, where it is, it's standalone, not necessarily, just necessarily have electricity.
Right. Yep, that's all.
You plug in, you're gonna run about a box, it's about this big. Plug it into the wall. It's a power and data cable that run up to a smaller top box. It's about this big. It gets affixed. And then there's a dipole fiberglass antenna. That top box and the dipole fiberglass antenna weigh maybe 6 pounds, right? So there's no weight load or anything like that to it. A lot of times we'll just put in a 40 or 50 foot telephone pole at these sites in order to achieve set elevation. And, we've provided the poles in the past. Our recommendation is that you provide the pole because you probably have relationships with your local electric providers that we don't. And they'll tell us to find outside contractors, and it gets a lot more expensive.
So also, with the ambulance company, that their antennas will still be there, but at some point, possibly, hopefully, in the future, for the next year, they'll be under construction.
Right. Again, I think if we can pick a location that we feel good about for several years.
I think the poles, as it stands now, I think the pole stays there. Because it's the back building and renovation of the existing. I don't think the pole is intended to be moved.
Where is
They
that
gotta keep
pole
communication right behind the bay one, right in the back of the building, where you go in the back door.
But if it's not going on a building, if it's going just on a pole, then, if the library was one of the best spots, so we could do the little lot next to it. Any of these properties, I get that you're thinking maybe the public works maintenance building lot will eventually be something else, but we're not getting rid of the land that's at the police station or at the park.
Right.
We're always gonna have that, so.
The property, but not necessarily the structure.
Correct.
Right.
So
And-
those
and
are
also
ideas
that
that
is-
we could just go there and not impact the ambulance company or the library.
That is a county antenna with county communications on it.
How many keeps that would be,
Well,
full set also.
yeah, I think you want to try to keep it as simple as you can. And, yeah, there's a little bit of cost to put the pole on, but it's probably less pain than trying to go through everything.
Yeah, going through the hoops of the county, I think put in a pole, 40, 50 foot, whatever you need to, and just put it on either a property that agrees to it, and they secure on.
What about somewhere along the right of way, because don't they have how big is that easement where the sewer line runs?
Behind the,
Right behind the ambulance.
behind the ambulance and behind Dollar General.
Yeah, the key is you just want to have power there already. You don't have to run that separate.
Just
That-
110?
That's a cost.
Just 110.
Yep.
That's easy.
And this, the collector, it draws 4 amps at maximum.
So you're down to just those two locations then, one north and one,
Right, those two,
one east.
those two, the two on the prop study is provided to cover the community. Obviously, this is a normal part of any project that we do. You know, you guys are a fairly small-sized community. We're doing this in Garrett County, right? So you can imagine, you know, it's pretty simple. We probably spend more time talking about it than we need to, because it'll be, if we pick a spot that the city owns and we get a pole up with power connected to it, then we'll be done, right? We just want Camstruck to verify that whatever city property we pick is going to give us the coverage we need so that your customers' meters are reporting to the system, and you'll be aware of when they have a lot of usage or when there's leaks in the system. So,
Can I ask you a question? So you give us 3 quotes. So the quote for, from 6/15/26 includes 2 collectors, correct?
Right.
And it's on the basis that we would change out meters on our own, right? That's not on here, correct? All right. So that's the quote on the top, guys.
Right.
Then the second quote, dated 10/9, is a full out thing,
That's a full build out.
full build out, correct, with all meters replaced instantaneously. And then the third quote on 12/1 is just meters, I believe, right? Meters and software.
So we set it up where you had the option to either put up collectors, so you can just start running the system. You gotta buy the software. You're using our software right now and our collector. So in order for this to keep going, you need to purchase your own collectors, your own software, and then move forward. So that's what one quote is with that. If there wasn't a desire to purchase collectors today, you can still do this as drive-by, the way that you read meters current, right? The downside of that is the information that they're getting that's helping them find leaks and solve
I'm not
problems.
gonna get it
You're
unless
not
they
gonna
go
be getting
drive
that
by.
anymore, right? So, but we wanted to give you at least 2 paths to start. We weren't sure, budgetarily what you wanted to do, right? So, and then we wanted to be sure you had a full system quote so that there was a target in terms of what
Thank
you
you.
did.
So we have, the end of our fiscal year is very quickly approaching. Would we be able to proceed with this July 1 or later? Or is this, how quickly do you need a decision or?
So we didn't tell you this, but Camstruck did this with a price increase, which we did not pass along to you. Okay, so that being said, you know, I think if we can get something done by, let's call it September 30th,
Oh, okay.
okay, then, you know, we will continue down that path. If it goes beyond that, then, you know, we're probably gonna have to reevaluate.
I don't foresee any reason for it to go that long. I just wanted to do it in the next fiscal year. That would
Yeah, sure.
work a lot better for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Greg, what are your thoughts on?
Well, I like the first quote where, I mean, we had the collectors and then Greg is just changing out the meters like we normally do. Like we spend the $25,000 every year anyways to change out meters. And we just do it gradually like that. I don't think like changing the whole system instantaneously is probably something that's gonna happen.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna say, we're not in a position to spend the
Right.
$670,000, obviously, but, I think we could be more in line with getting the first one here, so that we can continue the upgrades of the meters. Like
Right.
And just to be clear, that first quote, Camstruck prices their software based on how many meters you have purchased. Okay, so this first tier is for up to 100 meters.
Okay.
So when we get over 100, there's another tier that goes 101 to 250,
Okay.
right? And And so at that time, there's an upgrade charge for the base software,
Okay.
and there's an upgrade charge for the hosting.
Okay.
So just be aware now, there won't be an upgrade charge for base software because there's no difference between the 101 and 50 tier. There will be an upgrade charge for the software. There is an upgrade charge for the leak detection.
How much is the upgrade software? Do you know?
Between tiers, it varies wildly.
It's not on here though, or, okay.
We didn't price every tier on
Okay.
there, so we can get that information for you, just so you're aware.
If you're gonna do it, you must just do the collector part up, do it right.
That's what I was thinking too, because if we went with the cheapest third quote, we're not really gaining anything with the meters and technology.
Somebody would have to ride around constantly, keep checking these things all the time.
Yeah, so.
And based on the value of what they've given us, you know, to start this pilot program out, would it be kind of useless not to try to go for this first part? So that we can get things up and
I
running.
think that's what he said.
Yeah,
Might
and
wanna
it'll help-
confirm
it'll
that,
help
but
it
I'm
be
sure
efficient,
not.
right? I mean, it's a time saver, because if we not very have to pay rent driving around.
No, exactly, but it gives you that real-time reading.
Hourly data.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the part that we don't have, so.
I think the big thing is just you get to be proactive, right? Because the information's coming to you as opposed to there's a problem and you go back after the fact and you get the information.
Yeah, she told me the other day, said the first alerts, I went up, checked it out, and ended up being somebody's filling the pool and they were just drawing a whole bunch of water through the meter at one time.
Well, that's a good first.
And it is.
Yeah.
So could you get the upcharge information to Rachel and Yvette
Absolutely.
between now and a reasonable amount of time?
Right. And just so you're aware of the way that they do it in a prorated format. So let's say that software that for up to 100 is $1,000. At some point when you get to 800 meters, 801, it's 2,500 for the base software.
What are the tiers? Do you know?
101 to 250, 251 to 800, 801 to 1,600.
Okay, then we would stop there. Okay.
Well, maybe not.
Huh? Oh, you mean Keysville?
Yeah.
Oh, but they get to flip their own bill.
Well, and to be fair, right, it's going to be part of your software, so you just need to prorate the number of meters they have.
Right,
So,
Right.
whatever you've paid for software gets prorated against the new charge. So when you're at $1,000 for the software initially, at 800 meters it goes to 2,500. You're only going to pay $1,500 and not pay $2,500. Makes sense? So,
well, yeah, and there's a whole other scheme that we have to account for cost sharing with them, so it's.
right,
it's
yeah, that's
really
it.
really in-depth.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, we need to make a recommendation that we recommend quote number one for the collectors. Yeah. All right, I'll make the motion. Recommend quote number one for the collectors.
And that would be quote number 687-6775.
Yes. And Dave Wade has already seconded. So do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah.
Aye, Bobby, Dave, everybody in favor?
Yeah.
All right, motion carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You've been really patient and really helpful. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
And, you know, giving us this pilot program gave us a real opportunity to engage with this system, to figure out what was good, what wasn't good, to see how much better it's gonna serve. So, we appreciate that.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Absolutely. Glad it's doing what we said it would do in terms of benefiting you. And
Happy with it.
yeah,
Glad to hear that.
thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
We'll follow up with
Rachel, do that on those other
Yep.
charges.
in the next few weeks. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Always. No problem. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, sir. Have a good summer.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Don't be a stranger.
We'll send you that information.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
See you, man. Yep.
Be safe out there.
Always.
Thank you, gentlemen. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the time. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good
Are
evening.
you happy, Greg? Are you happy? Are you happy?
Except for all the extra work.
Question. What happens to the old meters that we take out?
Sitting down there in a box.
Can we put them in?
You know, we did ask, didn't we ask Neptune about that one time?
They won't take them back because they're like 20 years prorated and it costs more to ship them heavy things back than it does the. So last time we took a bunch of them, we dumped them in the bin at Green Fest.
Well, what I'm,
At the
let's,
cycle.
what criteria are we using to replace
20 years or broken.
20 years or broken? In other words, okay.
So you're supposed to replace a meter every 20 years, no matter what.
this means
When they
mine
age
will
out
get
is when
re-
we replace them.
this means mine will get replaced before long, right?
Yep. So if that just gives me a list of the oldest meters and I just go out and take that 25,000 of our old meters, I just start knocking them
Well, I
out.
was just thinking about the way you could reuse those meters.
No,
Oh, I'm just.
Yeah.
We could sell them,
Questions?
someone
I
face.
would take them and conserve it.
Oh, yeah, you could. You could
Well, I
probably
was
get
gonna
some
say,
money.
that would be the only thing. we
Yeah,
could
I
say
mean, you could get
conserve
money
it.
for
You
them.
have to strip them all out.
Right.
Freaking ever. You have to get all the plastic and all that crap off. You're more than welcome.
I don't
Come on
know.
down, I'll give them all to you. Let it bring the truck down, load them
I
up.
don't know.
It's only been a few months since we-
All right, moving on to old business.
As you take them out, set them aside, we'll maybe do something.
They're in a barrel down there in the park garage.
Sorry.
Okay, Reservoir got power at the reservoir today.
Yay.
Was there.
Wow.
So, we have power there. They're gonna bring the electrician in and fire everything up. You know, you don't fire, even though we have power to the building, we're not turning everything on yet until the electricians come in and check everything, make sure everything's okay. We've also had a couple of meetings. The first meeting was with Pete and Greg, specifically, and the engineer, with Arrow. That was specifically to talk about the tank switchover. How are we gonna switch over from one tank to the next? How do we put the tank online? What are our concerns? What are the things we need to worry about? Because the biggest concern that we have for the town, we do not want the town to ever be out of water at the reservoir. That's our fire flow, that's our fire protection. So what our intent is when we get ready to switch the tanks over, we're gonna fill both. That being said, it's June, July, August, so we have to keep in the back of our minds, there's not a whole lot of extra water in our system right now during the summer. This is why we're ahead of this. Because none of this can happen until the Crestview bypass line is done. Okay? And that's not scheduled to be done until the 20th of July. The week of the 20th is when they expect to have Crestview, the vaults in, the lines tested, all of that kind of stuff. Whether or not we get started up yet or not, I don't know, but we're not gonna be doing anything up at the reservoir filling it. But when we do, we will have both online. By a series of valves, we will cut off the old reservoir and operate it under the new reservoir for a number of days. Until Pete, his operators are comfortable, how everything's working, no concerns, there's no issue. You're going to leave the old tank full until we kind of go through that test period and make sure everything's okay. The reason for that, if something were to go wrong, if there were an unintended consequence when we put the line on and we had a line we didn't know about or something happens, we can go back to the way it's been operating years and years and years, give fire protection to the town, recover. Figure out what the problem is, right? But at least we've got protection. So, put the new tank online, we run it for a test period, 3 to 7 days. Everything looks good. We start pumping water out of the old reservoir. It'll probably drain on its own.
Well, it's not connected to the system.
Everybody's still.
No, he's saying it'll leak out.
Well, then that's even more reason for us to get it into the big into the new reservoir.
Yeah.
So that's our intent, is instead of trying to pull large volumes of water off, we would then take the old tank out of service, we would pump it dry into the new tank, because that's all treated water. To pump it straight over, it's treated water, and there'll be monitors up there, and then they can demo the old reservoir. That's how, so that's our plan. The meetings I had, Greg, Pete, and ourselves and the engineers to figure out what, from an operation standpoint, we need to worry about. And then we had a follow-up meeting today with HRI, specifically going over what is your schedule, when does this fit in here, here's what's happening, and working those pieces out. So it's moving in the right direction. We have startup on the 6th of July at the reservoir, where we're gonna put some water in the tank. They can set all of the parameters on the steel probes, yes. Transducer. They go in on both things and measure the levels of everything. So we're gonna put a certain amount of water in there so that they can do their test. They can run the equipment. When we do startup, what startup means is the equipment manufacturer that's providing the service is there that day to make sure his equipment or her equipment is hooked up correctly, is calibrated correctly, and then to give training to our operators. So that's already on everybody's calendar. That's a startup date we have on July 6th. We're gonna be starting up certain pieces of equipment. There'll be 2 or 3 of those up at the reservoir. Each equipment manufacturer has his own startup. If you're the hot meters, the hot guy comes in. If it's a certain kind of valve, then you get another guy that comes in. If it's something else, it's another guy that comes in. So there's a number of startups that we're gonna go through. So the idea is we do all the startups, we make sure everything checks out, and then we're just waiting for them to get done Crestview. As soon as Crestview's operational, then we can turn the pumps on at the booster station towards Keysville, and we can pump it enough pressure to get it all the way up there without overpressurizing Crestview. So that's our plan. That's where we are with the reservoir. Electric was our great big holdup because we couldn't get our startups. Now things are falling in place because we can actually get things all started up, and we're literally waiting for the line in Crestview to be done. Make sure that we set all of our pressures and make sure everything's right. And then we're able to do that. So that's where we are on the reservoir.
Now, how do they plan to fill it? Are you just gonna open the valve, or are you gonna pump it from the hydrant?
Fill it for the formal time?
Or just, yeah, when you go to fill it, put it in service? 'Cause I mean, if you try to fill them both at the same time. I'm sure
No,
they-
we leave the new one valved off and just pump it from the actual old reservoir into the new tank.
While they're filling it over.
Okay, yeah, so it's just, you're basically gonna be pouring off the old one, and the new one's gonna be valved off.
That's correct. That's correct. And then we can fill it, and one of the things that Pete and I talked about doing is actually start filling it, figure out how long it takes, what can he handle with the system when it's dry, when people are using water? Because that was Pete's concern. He's like, hey guys, in the middle of winter, I got extra water galore. Not this time of year, because they're out there on Mill Point Road flushing thousands of gallons out every day to get the chlorine residual up out there. So, plus people use more water during the summer for obvious reasons. I think, Greg, you said you got some hits that they thought were leaks. It turns out people were filling their pools. So that's where we are. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Let's start that.
What type of power do they have up there? Is it
3-phase.
3-phase? Anybody else have anything for Groove for the reservoir? All right, Potomac Street. Greg?
We do it?
Sure.
Them guys are probably halfway done doing their test pit and doing their saw cut, and then they're still at 4-inch line all the way up to the park entrance. They made it to there and the truck broke down yesterday, but so they're now saw cutting the road. They'll be at the main street by the end of the week, which is tomorrow, as long as they get the truck back. So they're moving along pretty good. They plan on putting the temporary bypass up on top of the sidewalk and putting PRVs on the bypass because of the amount of pressure that we're pushing from Keysville into here. So it don't blow the people's course out the temporary line. They're moving along pretty good. They're good, definitely a good contractor. They keep me informed all the time.
No issues with
Yeah.
traffic and.
Only issues they're gonna get is when they get close to Main Street right here. When they get to this square, they're gonna have to really pay attention because it's gonna be hard. You cut that corner, you're gonna immediately run into a flagger, so that'll be the worst part of the whole thing.
Yeah,
We're hoping and praying that Hetzer extended that 12-inch main across that intersection down Potomac Street a little bit when they did Main Street project back in 2000. If they didn't, then Mid-Atlantic has to come across that intersection to that 12-inch valve, which is on this side of the street.
On St. Paul.
Yep.
I know traffic is running smooth up, I guess, 2 times, Monday and Tuesday. And on one of those occasions, I went straight through and, you 3 or 4 cars in front of you, or maybe a half dozen. It's running, they're keeping traffic.
Yeah, there's a company called TES. I've never heard of them. They're great. Very professional.
And what would it take if they have to come through the intersection, or would they have to go out further? I mean, is that something they had to deal with the county?
Yeah, you'd end up with flaggers on Main Street, St. Paul Street, Potomac Street.
Just,
But I mean, it's not gonna interfere with the project,
No.
if they have to
you mean state.
state road, if they have to come out, the
It's
intersection.
already a permitted job.
Yeah, just have more people on duty.
Just pray
Yeah,
that it's extended down this way a little bit.
What they're doing now is they're test pitting. What that means is they're digging a little hole and verifying the water line's there, what size it is,
Right.
and all that, and they go down on valves and they look at it. That way, when they cut that line in the road, they know where the line is, they know they're on it, they know where they're going, and they know what they need. A lot of other contractors will just start digging. They'll find the water line, they just start following it.
Surprised when they get there.
Surprised when they run into something or something else. They don't like surprises because they test it about every, 50 feet.
Yeah, that line actually, back in the old days, they didn't want jackhammering the rocks. That line goes like this. All the way up Potomac Street. You can see some of the spots where they saw cutting. That's where them guys are pointing the rock.
But so far, it's been all 4-inch.
But, yep, so far. They stopped at the first park entrance, right by the church, is where it's still 4-inch there.
Money well spent.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the GIS that WR gave us only showed it as a very short section. And Greg was like, no, I think it's longer than that, and they're starting to find out, no, it's even longer than that. But no increase in cost because you guys asked to replace the entire section.
Yeah.
So to us, at this point, doesn't really matter where it ends 4 inches because we're taking it all to 12. So
They're just like HRI too. They work 4 10s. So if you guys don't see them on Friday, it's because they're not working.
Did you already pressure, wood pressure reduction bypass? Did you cover that before, you talk about it?
I'll hit it a little bit more just where they are. They've come out of the creek. If you've been out there for the last week or so, they've been banging on rock, trying to get the sleeve in under the creek. They've done that. The actual water line is back up to the road. They got about 500 feet left. Then they'll be setting the PRV vault boxes. So they're moving right along. Depending how much rock they hit between where they are now and where they stop, will determine how fast it goes. They fly when there's no.
He said he was going to put 500 feet in by Monday. That would be taking all the way to the end. They're all Fridays. We'll see. That's
You
250
said
tomorrow.
July 20 was the tentative completion date, right?
20.
That's great.
So they're moving along with that. The crews are out there. As you guys, as Greg just said, they're not there on Fridays, but they are out there. I have not noticed any major traffic problems out there. What I have noticed is they make the barrels so tight to give them room, it really does slow everybody down. You do not have a lot of people flying into town through those barrels.
Other than the maniac that came off of Main Street onto Cemetery Lane.
Heard about that.
Sorry about that, because that's my church is on the sidewalk. I mean, we didn't tell that Yahoo to come flying in there that way. Did anybody get hurt?
I don't think so.
That's good.
That's all I have unless anybody has any questions. Oh, I would make one recommendation. Since we're a couple of months out And we did send notices, and we have talked to some residents from Crestview. Is there some sort of an information sheet or a letter you want to send to the residents, letting them know that we're gonna be putting on the bypass line, which is gonna help reduce some of those high pressures in your homes? Just so that they're aware of it. Is that something you want to do or consider? I mean, you've got a month or two before that's gonna be implemented at the earliest, so I'm just kind of, so something
When's
you
the
want
next
to.
water bill go out, you bet?
Working on it now.
What's that?
Working on it now.
Okay, so.
I didn't say you had to do it, I just asked you.
No,
what you guys
I
want.
know, just if we're gonna do it, we should try to get it in that. manner.
You can't do it. It's too late for this billing. Yeah.
Her phone's gonna get blown up. Just be ready. Because they have PRVs in their basements and they're set for high. As soon as you drop that pressure down, say to 80, that's probably what they're gonna put it at. They're gonna, man, I don't have the pressure.
I know, and
And
that's
it's gonna end up being their PRV
Is
in
there
their
s-
basement.
You're talking about just Crestview?
Just Crestview's gonna call you. Just be ready. That's what Drew's getting at.
how many customers do you have back there?
Reducing the pressure right there. The actual pressure out of the.
But, I mean, what would you say? They have to take out your PRV or?
Just say, the town will be lowering the pressures on the water. Current pressure is too high, beyond what is safe for home use. So the town will be lowering the pressure on the main.
Kill the skid right off of it.
It's lying down to 75, whatever.
Oh, that's totally up to you. I just, there's no time to do all this.
No.
I mean, we can
Yeah.
talk about sending something out. And we could probably just do it in-house.
Do it through the internet.
Mhm.
You can also talk to the HOA and see if they-
That's true. And they have their own page.
But I think if you notify people, you're gonna get more complaints.
Yeah.
Just I mean, it's a courtesy, maybe put a note on the website, but if you send a letter, then you're gonna have everybody perfectly call the vet. But it hurt.
Well, we were thinking about just reaching out to the HOA.
I'd give them a heads up.
Yeah.
So that they're gonna see a change in pressure, it's gonna drop. Guess worst case, we could do door hangers, but.
See, what happens is, when the PRVs get bad out there, they lose all pressure.
Right, yeah.
So advising them, what would we say? You need to contact the plumber for your PRV or what?
Yeah, now that they'll be putting the vaults in, they don't even need them PRVs in their houses. It's up to them. You don't tell them that, but they don't need them. Most houses don't have them in their house.
But they can change the pressure accordingly.
You can screw
But
it
not higher than what's in the main.
Right, yeah, so,
Yes, if it drops, they can screw down the top of it and give you more pressure.
I mean, some of them might not know what to do without contacting the plumber.
But I can do it. I can
You
do
don't
it.
wanna, you don't wanna be the ones that advise
They're
them,
not gonna
And then
be
they
done.
mess something up.
right, because then that makes us liable, so.
I think a month.
But you can also be
We
aware,
get a list together
the
July 1st.
PRV vaults, they are adjustable.
When I get back.
Yeah, I
There's gonna be a little finessing
Yeah.
going on where Greg's gonna be, somebody's gonna be in the vault and we're gonna be measuring fire hydrants and we're gonna tweak it and adjust it until we get it just about right. So there will be some pressure fluctuations in there as we adjust the system. The point is this, is that the current pressure in the water mains in their subdivision are over 120 PSI. That is not okay.
No.
We're gonna be dropping it to, we haven't decided yet,
Most of the town's 80.
but we should keep it at 8.
That's what most of it's at, 70 to 85, 90.
Well, like I said, if you know, get with the HOA.
Well, I'll work on it after my vacation. So I think July is probably okay enough time
Yeah.
to inform them. So.
Well, yeah, and if they ask any, just tell them they have to check with their manufacturer. They're saying, tell them what to do.
Right, yeah, no, because we don't want to be liable.
I'll work with Drew and Greg. 24, let Drew and Greg, and we'll get the information out to them. We'll copy minutes.
All right, Drew, again, water and sewer capacity study.
I did not finish the studies up, so I'm sorry, but I have got them done.
All right,
You're excused this time.
we'll table that.
He's been spending every week.
I,
dealing with Chase Six.
I know, I'm just messing with you. I see Walker Street.
He's eating ice cream with Eric.
Let's see, what's
Wait a second. Eric? Okay, I just want to make sure you could.
You still here? So it makes it wait, yeah.
I just waited, I thought maybe you had laryngitis or something. I didn't hear anything out of it.
No, I'm making news. All right, Rachel, are you ready for review and ranking of projects and priorities?
So I had this on here because first of all, I don't lose sight of it, but also to see if any of you had identified anything or prioritized anything since the last meeting.
Rachel, aren't some of these that's listed, aren't they already have grant requests?
In the WRA list, yes, some of them are either in work or we have requested
Would
funding.
it have help for us to know which,
I mean, it's only a few.
well, just, I hear us talking about certain ones that, you know, grant money being requested, and then, so I just don't, I want to spend time thinking about something that we're already working on, or have in process.
I'm out of the office this week, but I'll make a note to do that next week. Thank you. So I don't have anything new to talk about.
Just about everything is water though, I mean, other than, I know last month we talked about,
Yes, our biggest problems are water.
okay, I didn't know if Greg had any person on the wastewater side or he had any. You really feel strongly about that sewer plant.
Rachel's working on the lining right now, grant for the lining. And,
Okay, I didn't know.
That's
would
what
that
I'm
be
really pressing on the sewer side.
something that you could budget so much money a year, like $50,000-$75,000, and just every year you just keep doing a little more
For what?
for like lining and sewer line? for the island?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that's how you typically did it, or?
For years, we were getting 250,000 and the town was matching the 250,000. So we were doing a crap ton of sewer lines.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Well, now.
I think them days of them grants and stuff probably overrated.
They haven't announced the awards yet. Like, they're months behind where they're supposed to be. They have not, it was last week, it was right before I went out, that they had another question on that they had to go in and adjust. So they're still reviewing the applications from a year ago.
Also, what we forgot, I think there's a lead and copper update due in November.
I know the one that there's, okay. I have it on my board.
Okay. But I don't know what that entails. I kind of forgot.
I didn't see it either. Let me know if you know.
I know I put it on there when we first got the letter.
They have a whole list of MDE projects that are.
Some of that's gonna happen on Potomac Street.
Yep, you can ask it, place no white line, it all has lead bills in it.
So we just need to make sure we have the right date. and get the report put out.
All right, nothing else on the old business, do we have any new business?
I didn't have anything to put on.
Okay, figured the dot was. All right, what about systems report? We don't have Pete, but we'll just go with Greg.
Everything's running good. So far, I mean, the sewer system, the guys are using the flusher, they finished Kinsey Heights. They're working on Dell Lane, they're almost finished that. We're gonna do all the developments first, come back and do the town. It's gonna take us till, I'd say September. So we're just doing it, we had to get caught up on things. We're not able to do it every day, that's why the manpower to do it, but, and we're bringing a lot of dirty, the whack you got, it's nice, it's pretty gross, but
I thought I had a gremlin in my house the other day.
then you heard it goodbye. See, back in the old days, that thing used to turn to go up the laterals towards your house and would blow people's toilets apart.
Oh.
And now they came up with this long steel pipe that you put on there that keeps that thing from turning and going up the sewer lines. Yeah, it would blow people's toilets completely apart. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, that'd be a fun time, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So I got the same two guys running it, and that guy's getting ready to go on vacation. He don't come back until July 1, so, and I want a bunch of different people touching it because there's a lot of controls and valves on there, so.
That was funny, I could hear it. I could hear it down in the basement, I couldn't hear it upstairs.
3,000 PSI.
That's great.
Yeah, I think I cut your boot, just out across there.
I'm sure.
On the water side, the guys are just exercising valves right now. They're almost actually completely done. And then July 1, we have the leak detection budgeted. Instead of buying these pods that I bought, I got 4 of them right now. I'm gonna just keep using the 4. I'd like to bring that company in because we didn't use it last year. I like it because we have a lot of complaints of people with low water pressure. I'm getting them now from Ace Hardware out here. They got the owner out there is calling me and he's like, oh, my sprinkler system keeps going off saying there's low water pressure in my sprinkler system. Yeah. And then we're getting ones up on Orchard Drive, and I mean, they're just everywhere, so I'd like to bring them in, just check the whole town, because see, that's what they do every single day. I'm just getting, okay, for you guys in July, because I want to get it going before I come back here in July. I'll get with Rachel though, she has it, she fits in the budget.
For leak detection?
Yeah, we never take it out, 7,500. We put the same amount in, last year we bought them 4 pods with the 7,500.
Okay.
This year, I would just like get the guy back, just do it again. Just letting you know, I don't think y'all have to approve it or anything.
No, it's not, it's a limit.
Yeah.
As long, you budgeted, right? I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It's in there, I put the same amount in there every single year.
What's that? He's having the company come in, to do leak detection. We already have it budgeted.
One of our water sewer operators gave us notice, so if you know of anybody that wants to work for a beautiful town, it's going to apply.
Lauren?
You think? No.
Be very flexible.
Yes, that's true. I can check the reservoir.
Yeah.
I do know somebody that I think applied.
We got an application.
And then I saw somebody had applied to be on the committees. I don't know, like a Samuel Gray.
Planning Commission.
So you went to planning? Okay, I wasn't sure.
If I'm not mistaken, I think there were a whole bunch of people that had Planning Commission on there, but that name
Okay.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, I just saw an email, I think it was a couple weeks ago or something, and I think they just applied in general.
What was his name?
Last name Harrison.
Maybe it was Harrison or something. I
If
wasn't
it's
sure
the
what
same
committee.
person I'm thinking of, he applied for multiple positions, and then when the EDC interviewed him or whatever, he said that his job had changed and he wouldn't be able.
Okay, I was just.
I think we're gonna have an applicant here soon. We haven't already. Him.
You will give up.
He's just,
Did you already submit your application to be on the BMUC?
No.
Oh, well, what are you waiting on?
waiting on the planning commission.
Wade's elected to the council.
We don't have a position until, yeah.
Tuesday.
Do we have,
What's that?
do we have a vacancy? Is that why you were asking?
Well, since you do, right?
No, Terry's here, so we're full right now.
Okay, I was just wondering because I saw that email. I can go back.
We have
I'm drowning in
vacancy,
emails
but
right
it's
now.
it's a
It's the
non-voting.
non-voting.
It's a non-voting.
Oh, okay.
Subject matter expert.
Yeah, that's an SES, yeah.
All right, I guess, anybody else has any questions or comments? We got Bobby is up.
Obvious.
He's up.
There you go, look at that.
All right, we get a second, Dave? I got the second on this. You the man. All right, we're out of here. Have a great journey.
Yeah.
What we want to do.
Awesome. Under an hour, Harry.
15 minutes.
All
Writing this down.
Okay. Under an hour. I feel like this is spring break or something.
Don't be so
Yeah. I'll let y'all ride this back here.
Okay.
Yeah, take it quickly off.
Sometimes it seems like, right?
Everybody know that.
Awesome.
I'll come to tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
that bad.
Sorry.
Well,
Man, we're 30 seconds to work.